Always soften the face, your gaze and your tongue. On the exhale, twist to the right. So you've got left elbow to right thigh. Hips are dropping down. Belly lifting, spinning to the right. Chest lifting, spinning to the right. Right hip back, chest forward. Fingers point forward, shoulders are broad. Looking down to the side or up. It just depends on your neck, your balance. Whatever works for you is perfect. Couple more deep breaths. And if this position bothers your wrist, sometimes I'm doing a lot of handstands, I'll do fists instead. So it's up to you, you don't have to do prayer hands. Chair pose on the inhale. And then on the exhale, you come back down, get into half boat. Okay, so what we're going to do is called, I call it chopping boat. And you're just going to like chop your hands over to one side. And depending on what you do with your legs determines how difficult it is. So if you stretch your legs out and you do right leg up, lifting some, chopping to the right, and then down. Because that's going to be challenging maybe, or if you want to get harder, both legs up, chop to the right. Make it even harder, lift all the way up for a twisting boat. And then down again, and then you're going to go to the left. So let's go to the right to start, exhale. You make it harder, however at the bottom, to the left. We're going to take a break. Down, to the right. Down, to the left. Down, to the right. Down, to the left. Down, to the right. Down, to the left. Down. One more time, side to the right. Down, and to the left. So you're going to go down, up to boat, and then up into chair. Inhaling. On the exhale, you're going to let yourself sink down between your legs, and we'll come into baby crow. So give yourself some room. And then you're going to lower your forearms down to the floor. My heels are off the floor. Knees on the outer upper arms, close to the shoulders. You're going to squeeze in, lean forward, plant the arms, the hands, and you lift your feet, holding here. Nice deep breaths. And if you can, shoot it back. I didn't quite make it. But you can shoot it back. Your knees might skim the floor like I just did, or you might get it all the way back. It just depends. Every day is different. So you got the chest reaching forward, the tailbone drawing back, and this is our forearm plank pose. Forearms are parallel to one another, softening the neck and the face. We're just holding here. Again, smooth, even breaths. And then into dolphin pose. So you walk your feet in some, hips go up and back, head hanging down. Whether or not you can get the heels on the floor, that depends on your flexibility, bone structure, whatnot. Make sure your head is not on the floor, so push away from the floor. Again, proportions, have your head down, at least, don't sink on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to step into, basically I call it an inside high lunge. So you're going to bring your right foot forward. If you need to, you can lean off of that right elbow, so you can lean to the left. Step the right foot forward. So you'll automatically end up in this inside high lunge, and you're going to stay low and work your hands out. Nice and wide. Your right arm is underneath your right leg. Now you can stay here. You want to work a little bit on your balance. Do palms up, or maybe you want to play with the binds. Lower the head down. Dropping the head is going to challenge your balance just a little bit more. But the nice thing is with the head hanging down, you don't have to hold up the head, so the neck can let go a little bit. Now my feet are nice and wide, So that helps a little bit with the balance. If you're more like on a balance beam, it's going to be harder. Notice how you're breathing again. So now we're going to play with a version of a standing split. It's like a half bounce standing split. So this right arm is going to stay wrapped around you. The left hand's going to come down to the floor, and you'll just slide that left leg in. Now, doing this half bounce standing splits is like, that's not working out for me today, or ever, who knows. You just do both hands on the floor and take a normal standing split. It's okay. But you're stretching the left leg out, and you're really straightening out the leg. Sometimes there's a tendency to kind of have a sort of soft bend in the knee, but just really try to fire up that left leg. You can let the head go, or if you need help with your balance, then you can look a little bit at the right foot. A couple more deep breaths again, so long as you're not building tension. And then bring left foot down to the floor. Plant the left foot, make sure left toes are pointing forward. Maybe you can bind around the right leg. If you need to grab a strap or something, do so. Bending the left knee up to your right tiptoes, and then lifting up bird of paradise. So as you come up, you might be a little wobbly, that's okay, take your time, no rush. Plant the left leg, maybe you can straighten the right leg, or maybe you keep it bent. Again, whatever you do is perfect, so long as you try to stay with the breath. And stay very focused, very present. So, more breaths here. On the exhale, lower the right leg down without losing your balance, halfway. So don't look all the way to the floor, so just bend over about halfway. Straight on that leg again if you bent it. Looking forward. And you're kind of dropping the right hip down. So make sure you're not hiking it up. Right hip down. Lower the right foot down to the floor. Take your left foot out just a little bit wide again. Hands to the chest, prayer position. So I'm not doing prayer squat. I'm keeping my hips up, so I'm working my legs a bit here. As usual, belly in. If you need to modify, you can always do hands to floor, kind of supporting some of the weight of your torso. Otherwise, hands to the chest. If you want to make it harder, arms by your ears. Just make sure it's not bothering your low back. And then the hands come back to the chest, heels in, toes out, coming into prayer squat. Let your right shoulder sink down to the right inner knee. Winding the right arm around the right leg. Take the left arm back behind you. And again, if you need a strap or whatever, grab that. We'll take the hips up a little bit. Walk your feet closer together. Left leg goes underneath your body. Up on your right tiptoes. So this is just a bird of paradise variation. So let's plant the left foot. Lift on up. Right knee points up. Right toes pointing down. So now instead of binding around the thigh, it's around the entire leg. Nice deep breaths again. Same thing, we're going to fold. This time they'll come all the way down with the upper body. The right foot points up to the ceiling. The right knee points down to the floor. I too keep my gaze down at my toes. If you can drop your head, then you can definitely do that. Release the right foot down next to the left foot. Up in the chair pose on the inhale.